there is a fiscal note, and it's going to ramp up so that it's costing Maryland $4 million each year. And they really don't know how many people we're talking about statewide, so that could be really a very low estimate.
Do you have financial support coming from other groups who back what you're doing here?
Right now it's mostly a volunteer effort, and so we're relying on volunteers and grassroots activists across the state and people who just really care about this issue to go to the website and sign the petition and mail it in.
Delegate, are you considering doing any, on the same line, any hired canvassers to help you out? And can you do it?
We are interested in pursuing that if we get funds in, then we might go in that direction, but at this point it's all volunteer.
How much will it end up costing, the average taxpayer in Maryland? How many of the students do you think will end up getting into college? What will it cost in the next year, 5 years?
Basically, the fiscal note talked about $4 million a year, and so we know there's going to be at least that amount going forward. And I can tell you some real numbers. We look at Hagerstown Community College for an example. Full-time tuition is $1,200 a year. That's supplemented because out-of-state tuition is over $2,400 a year. So over half the cost of that tuition is supplemented by state tax dollars and county tax dollars. We look at the University of Maryland at College Park. It's about $8,500 for an annual tuition rate. And then if we look at out-of-state tuition, it's over $25,000. So the taxpayers of Maryland are supplementing over $14,000 a year. And this is a real cost to taxpayers, and we can see that the $4 million and the fiscal note is going to continue to ramp up.
I want to mention that over a 4-year period for a student, it's about $30,000 in taxpayer subsidies that have to pay for that. And you have close to 400,000 illegal immigrants in the state of Maryland. We've got 16 community colleges. You're talking literally about not $4 million. You're probably talking more over a period of time, maybe 3 years from now, where it's going to be $40 or $50 million. That's what you're talking about.
Gentlemen, remind us of the number of signatures you need and when you need them by.
Sure. We have 2 dates that we need to meet. One is the end of May, May 31st at midnight. We're going to be right here turning in signatures. The minimum that we have to have is approximately 18,500, and our goal is to double that because we know that certain signatures are going to be thrown out. So we need to have 36,000 we believe is a safe number, and that's what we plan to come in here with at the end of May. And then our second due date is at the end of June. We need to have approximately 58,000 signatures, and we want to try and double that as well. So we need to have over 100,000 signatures by the end of June.
If the bill is implemented as it is now, do you foresee that out-of-state legal citizens could sue the state because
There will be lawsuits.
We do anticipate lawsuits.
Yeah, I just want to mention there are potentially 3 lawsuits related to this. We're waiting until after July 1st to see the outcome of the petition. If the petition fails, the lawsuits will be initiated very quickly. One is probably a taxpayer's lawsuit. Another one is related to the Constitution. And the third one is related to the Federal Immigration Act. And even if the bill itself is not defeated, but if we get the petitions, the lawsuits will still be held potentially to be initiated at the appropriate time. Whatever it takes, whether it's a 1-2 punch of lawsuits and petitions and the voters participating, we're going to stop this monstrosity one way or the other.
Something I wanted to add to the cost, what's this going to cost the average Marylander? One of the things we don't talk about is the lost opportunity cost. What am I talking about? There are a finite number of seats in our higher education system, and it doesn't matter how you count those people, whether they're counted as in-state people or out-of-state people. Our institutions can only hold a certain number of people before they're stretched and have too many people in them. So the more people we put into those seats in this category, the less opportunity there's going to be for legal, lawful Maryland residents to partake in our higher education system and our university system. So there's a lost opportunity cost. It's really hard to quantify in terms of dollars.
Great, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So that was 18,000 by May 31st.